Hey, what's going on? Mike here. Hey, I'm really excited to come to you tonight. I just acquired a Fender Deluxe VM, which stands for Vintage Modified. This is an all tube amp, 40 watts, perfect amount. You can use this amp to play with a band, crank it, and you have plenty of volume. 40 watts is really the perfect amount. Um, it's awesome. It's a black face sounding amplifier. It's really cool. I remember when I went into the music store, I walked in and picked up a Stratocaster, and I saw this sitting there, and I plugged into it, made a few little adjustments. It's got a really easy EQ on the clean channel. It says volume, treble, and bass, and then I just put on a little reverb and strummed the first chord, and I melted into a puddle on the floor. And the owners came over and they're like, Mike, are you okay? Mike? Guys, get a mop. He's a puddle on the floor. So the tone was that good that I melted. I laid there and it was just a puddle of me, my eyes sitting there staring straight up. My mouth was still intact, and it was like, that's the sound. Anyway, weird, huh? So, it's got the Fender Blackface clean tone. Their Blackface series from the mid 60s to like 1970, I think, is by far the best clean guitar tone on the planet from an amplifier. With the lush reverb, it's just unbeatable. And I found that in this amp. I remember one time I went into the music store and I plugged into a real 1965 Vibrolux, and they wanted like $2,500 for it, and I plugged into it, and I remember the same thing. Strummed the chord, puddle on the floor. They had to mop me up again, put me together. No, but anyway, it's what I call liquid crystal. It sounds like liquid crystal. And the Fender Deluxe VM has that tone. I heard it. I plugged in and I had to get it. And these amps are really great price. They only released them for a few years. I've gone online and seen several reviews of them, and some people are like, the amp sucks. And I'm thinking, they are friggin' high. They don't know what they're talking about. I don't get it, because I plug into this amp and I'm in la la land. Now, it's cool because it's vintage and it's also modified. So you got the Blackface Deluxe Vintage channel, which is like a Blackface Deluxe reverb. It's just volume, treble, bass, and over on your effects side you have reverb. You can add reverb to it. Now, how they modified it was they added a distortion channel. So it's got a gain channel too. So you get the classic vintage reverb clean sound, which is lush and delicious, which it takes stomp pedals amazingly. So if you run a tube screamer through it or whatever your distortion pedal is, you are just like in heaven. Then you got the gain channel, and you can run your tube screamer on top of the gain channel and get a really even amazinger tone. It's just beautiful sounding. Now, the amp is solid tube. It's all tube except for the effects channel. The effects that are built into it, it comes with reverb, chorus, and delay. Those are solid state, not tube driven. But the rest of the amp, the sound coming out and everything is all tube. The reverb is solid state, but it sounds like a tube reverb. I mean, it sounds amazing. The delay sounds excellent. The chorus on it sounds excellent. And what's cool is it comes with a really heavy-duty foot switch, so you don't have to worry about bringing those pedals if you use them. I know on my other rigs, I do use them. I have those pedals, so it's cool. It's all built into this amp. It's also got an external speaker jack on the back, so I can plug into my 212 cab into the back, which is I have a couple closed back 2x12s that I can plug into this, and it sounds freaking awesome. So I just want to give you a little bit of demonstration. I know I've been yakking a lot, and I can't turn it up too loud because of the building I'm in. But I'm just going to give you a quick little demo of the sounds. I'm playing, this is my Les Paul. It's a old, it's a 73, and it's got the original T-top pickups in it, and they're not potted, so I have to be careful on the gain channel being this close because I get microphonic feedback from it. Because they aren't potted pickups, but they sound really good. So I'll do a quick demo of the clean channel with my neck pickup. I love the neck pickup on this guitar. It's beautiful. That's awesome. That is total Fender blackface clean sound. That is so good. I love that. Okay, I'll do some single note kind of little blues licks for you. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to do this really quick. Now, what's awesome is, I don't know if some of you, I'm sure, know Peter Green. This guitar is awesome because when I go into the middle position between the neck and the bridge, mine is out of phase, so it's got that Peter Green tone. I don't know if the old Peter Green on the John Mayall stuff in the early Fleetwood Mac, what he would do is play in that out of phase position, and he played through a Fender Bandmaster, one of those stacks, and he would crank the reverb up. So I'm going to crank the reverb up on this, and this sounds like Peter Green. This is it. So there you go. That's the Peter Green tone, and I can do it through this amp and through the Les Paul, of course. But all right, so we got a gain channel 2 on this. I'm going to turn the gain down. Me personally, I don't like a ton of gain. I like to add a couple pedals on top of it to really get that kind of distortion I'm looking for like classic rock. But this has that built into it as well. So I can go to the drive channel. I can get, let me turn the verb down. Don't need a ton of verb on it, but there we go. Nice, huh? All right, and this has a 3-band EQ. It's got treble, middle, and bass. So give it a little more body. Can crank the mid up, the bass up, a little more body on it. So that sounds really good. And you can crank the gain up on it higher if you're into more of like a metal sound. So it's got that too. And right now the volumes on the amp are low, and being a tube amp, I've done it. You can crank the volume up on the amp and drive the tubes in the amp as well, so it gives you an even better sound. On the clean channel, you can crank the thing up to 10. Use the volumes on your guitar. You can get a beautiful blues tone out of the amp. It's just awesome. So anyway, that's just a quick run through. It does again have built-in delay, built-in chorus. They all sound excellent, easy to use, and I highly recommend the Fender Deluxe VM. If you're looking for the blackface tone at a price that you can actually afford, this is the amp. Don't listen to the naysayers. Go out and try one yourself, and you'll be blown away as much as I am. Awesome amp, gig worthy, and I'm using it for my gigs. Have a good one. And remember, be good to yourself and be good to other people. Bye.